Hello everybody, this is Alaskan Spirit Traveler, Mato Nupa, Two Bears. That's how I sign all my flutes. My name is Mike, and this is lesson 2 on how to play the Native American flute. This lesson is dedicated towards some new flute players, Desmond, Eden, Leonie, and Michael. So my flutes are made the natural way. What does that mean? Well, you'll notice that there's a lot of flutes out there that you find that are tuned to the key of F or G or whatever it may be. Well, our ancestral flute makers never said, I'm going to make a flute tuned to the key of anything. So there's nothing wrong with that, but just keep in mind it changes the whole flute playing dynamics. The holes are spaced completely differently, and you have to get used to that. They're wonderful to play, don't get me wrong, but I make my flutes in the natural way. So let's begin with the lesson. We already talked in lesson 1 about how to cover the holes, how to uncover the holes, how to get the flute to sound. This lesson we're going to talk a little bit more about how to actually go in and play the flute. And we're going to start with covering all the holes, and we're going to think of the holes as a number. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yes, my flutes have 6 holes. You'll see some flutes have 4 and 5. Just depends on the culture and the flute maker. All of mine have 6. So we're going to cover all 6 holes. Keep in mind that for right now, we are not going to play holes 3 and 4. 3 and 4, we're just going to keep them covered. We'll get into that a little bit later on in some other lessons. One is a sharp, one is a flat. So we're going to be playing holes 1, 2, 5, and 6. Once again, holes 1, 2, 5, and 6. And that's a good thing to start with without even making any noise with the flute. Just move those fingers. 1, 2, 5, and 6. Put them back on. Cover it up. 1, 2, 5, and 6. And you don't have to be fast. Take your time. You'll get to the point where you'll feel familiarity with putting your fingers back into place. That's all part of it. It's just getting your fingers used to playing on the flute. So we're going to start with hole number 1. Just lift the finger off, put the finger back. Now if you get something like this, as your finger's trying to find its place back over the hole, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Eventually you'll get it up and down. So that's all there is to that. Is just lift your finger up, put your finger back. 1, 2, 5, and 6. Let's go ahead and do them. 1, 2, 5, and 6. Keep in mind that the flute is based on simplicity. simplicity. Everything can be played on the flute from the bottom up. You can't start playing at the top. It's not going to work. Down the road, when you become better at playing the flute, you'll learn ways around that. But right now, everything is played from the bottom up, and then from the top back down to the bottom. 1, 2, 5, and 6. 6, 5, 2, and 1. 1, 2, 5, and 6. 6, 5, 2, and 1. And don't worry if you have to stop and take a breath in between fingers. There's nothing wrong with that. You'll work on breath control as you learn to play the flute. So don't be afraid to stop and take a breath. Nothing wrong with that. The flute is a patient instrument. So now what I'd like you to start doing with that is duration. Try and get each hole to last as long as you can. Practice that until you become proficient enough that your fingers go right back into place. Don't worry if your fingers slip off the hole like this. Just keep working on it. Don't worry about going too fast all at once. Take your time, get used to having your fingers on there, movement, and that'll come good over time. Then to start playing with it. Congratulations, you're playing the flute. The flute is a wonderful instrument. It's a great way to connect to the natural world and the spirit world around you. It's awesome. So practice that on 1, 2, 5, and 6. Don't worry about holes 3 and 4 yet. Just use it as a mechanism to hold the flute. Enjoy. Thanks for joining me here on Alaskan Spirit Traveler. Flute lesson number 2. Have a good time.